Hi everyone, welcome to another tech vid. Today I'll show you how to set up and configure Sophos Phish Threat. Sophos Phish Threat allows you to simulate phishing attacks, providing valuable training for your end users and keeping your organization secure. I'll walk you through the steps to verify your domain, add the necessary exclusions on your mail server, and sync your users and groups. To configure Phish Threat, you'll need access to your public DNS provider and the necessary credentials to add a TXT record, and admin rights to your Sophos Central account. Additionally, if you're using M365 or Gmail, you'll also need admin privileges to add exceptions in those platforms. Let's get started in Sophos Central. The first step is to verify your domain. Go to My Products, General Settings, Verify Domains. Click Add Domain and enter your domain name. Note, you must add all the domains you plan to send Phish Threat simulations to. Once you've added your domains, click Save. A new window will appear and present a TXT value. To verify your domain ownership, copy this TXT value into your domain's public DNS provider. The steps to do this will vary based on your provider, so refer to your domain registrar for further information. Once you've published your TXT record, return to Sophos Central and click Verify. Note, the new TXT record can take up to 24 hours to take effect. If it's not verified right away, try again later. If the record is correct, you'll see a confirmation. Also note, if you're an enterprise customer, the TXT record must be updated for each domain in the substate, so repeat these steps if needed. Click OK to proceed. The next step is to set up exceptions in your mail server so that the campaigns are not blocked. If you're using M365, we recommend using the M365 direct delivery method. This way, you don't need to manually add and configure exceptions. Refer to our tech vid and documentation that show you the detailed steps. The links are in the description. To set up Phish Threat with Google Workspace, you must add the Sophos Phish Threat IP addresses in the email allow list to make sure that your phishing campaigns are delivered successfully. Sign in to the Google Admin Console. Go to Apps, Google Workspace, Gmail. Click Spam, Phishing and Malware. In the email allow list, click the edit icon. Enter the IP addresses to your email allow list. You can find them in Sophos Central under My Products, Phish Threat, Settings, and click Sending Domains and IPs. Once you've entered the IPs, click Save. Next, configure the inbound gateway. In Inbound Gateway, click the edit icon. Enable the inbound gateway settings. In Gateway IPs, click Add, and enter the Phish Threat IPs you wish to allow. Make sure Automatically Detect External IP is selected, and deselect Reject All Mail Not from Gateway IPs. Then select Required TLS for connections from the email gateways listed above. Now, in message tagging, select Message is considered spam if the following header regex matches. Enter any text that won't match the email header content, such as the example shown here. Then select Message is spam if regex matches. Choose Disable Gmail Spam Evaluation on mail from this gateway, only use header value. Click Save. Next, add your domains and configure the spam settings. In Spam, click Configure. Enter a name for the spam setting. Select Bypass Spam Filters for messages from senders or domains in selected lists. Then, click Create or Edit List, which lets you create a new list for Sophos Phish Threat domains or modify an existing list. Click Add Address List. Enter a name for the address list. I'll use Sophos Phish Threat. Then, enter the domain names that you will find in Sophos Central under My Products, Phish Threat, Settings, Sending Domains and IPs. Now, select and add your domain to the list. Click Add Address, and enter the domains from the list. Alternatively, you can also copy and add a bulk of domains by clicking Add Bulk Addresses and pasting your list in the Bulk Add Addresses window. click Add. Now, turn off the authentication requirement for all domains and click Save. Close this window and go back to the Spam, Phishing, and Malware tab. Staying in the Spam section, click Use Existing List. Select the list you created for Sophos Phish Threat. Select Bypass Spam Filters and hide warnings for messages from senders or domains in selected lists. And click Save. Finally, configure the content compliance. To add the relevant IPs and turn on whitelisting and content compliance, go to Apps, Google Workspace, Gmail. Click Compliance. In Content Compliance, click Configure. Enter a name for the content compliance setting. I'll use Phish Threat Content Compliance. In Email Messages to Effect, click Inbound. In If any of the following match the message, click Add. Now, in Ad Settings, select Metadata Match. For Attribute, select Source IP. In Match Type, select Source IP is within the following range. Then, enter the Sophos Phish Threat IPs for whitelisting, and click Save. Repeat these steps when you add the other Phish Threat IPs. Then, click Add. In Ad Settings, select Advanced Content Match. In Location, select Full Headers. For Match Type, select Contains Text. In Content, enter X-PT-token and click Save. Lastly, in the section If the above expression matches, go to Spam and select Bypass Spam Filter for this message. And in Encryption, select Require Secure Transport TLS. Then click Save. Finally, to send a campaign to your users, you need to sync them with Sophos Central. To do so, you'll need to add a directory service using either Microsoft Entra ID or Google Directory. We have tech vids that cover the steps for both platforms. Refer to the links in the description to view them. Note, if after configuring, an email was sent but not received, you can check for any message delivery failures. Go to Settings, Bounced Mailboxes. If you see any mailboxes here, resolve the entry before sending a new email or campaign. You're now ready to start creating and sending Phish Threat campaigns. I hope you found this useful. Check out the relevant documentation for this tech vid in the description. For further assistance, view and post questions on community.sophos.com. And go to techvids.sophos.com for more great videos like this one. Thanks for watching.